Hello everyone. For those that don't know me, my name's Curtis Sardi. I'm the New South Wales Country High Performance Coach, and Sam Gruggen's our Metro High Performance Coach. For the newer faces, I am a Penrith junior and coach. Haven't been around very much the last 18 months with my new job, but yeah, it's really exciting to come back and do a clinic back here at home. So I'm going to do a hours clinic on split kick extra, and Sam's going to do a hours clinic on away screening principles and actions. The reason why we've been doing the clinics over the past month or so is apart from what we saw in January with our tours, our deficiencies, what we did well and didn't do well. Sam and I are both association coaches, so Sam and I coached against each other with Penrith and Bankstown, and we just really want to come back and give back to where we came from. So that's a big reason. And then for some coach education and to keep growing the coaching system, but then also help our players continue to get better. So then when they come to our trials and things, they're a bit more comfortable and exposed to it already. Currently the girls are doing some of the proprioception stuff that we get in our program. So we normally get our kids at our high performance programs to come in 10 to 15 minutes early and do some proprioception stuff. I'm happy to grab all your email addresses in, and we can send you our session plans and anything that we do tonight, and share that with you if you're interested in that stuff. But realistically, this is the type of thing that helps kids prevent injuries during practice. So instead of our old dynamic and static stretching, this stuff is really important for their joints and knees and ankles. So they're currently doing that. Obviously this session will be more based for you guys. So at times they will stand and watch and whatever, and we're not going to bark at them because they're nervous as hell standing in front of 30 coaches and being filmed and knowing it's going on YouTube. So don't worry about the end product so much, but it's more the drills that we're trying to teach and how we would coach and critique their mistakes. So yeah, we'll get started if the girls are ready. Good to go, Journey, Rose? Okay. All right, girls, let's go. Go to jumpers? Yeah. Cool. All right, so right now I need 2 lines, 45 on both sides. Everyone needs as many balls as we can. Charlie, you can pass on this. You can stand on that elbow. You don't need one. You're good. So 45s up top, Journey. 45s up top. Good. Yeah, you go the other side. The other. So the first piece here is in split kick extra. The biggest thing I learned since being in this job, and it was actually from Sam, any kid will revert back to habits when there's pressure situations. So if they have poor habits, when there's a pressure game or the scores are tight, clock time, whatever it is, they'll revert back to their habits. So if we don't instill in them really sound and positive habits, then we're setting them up for failure. So part of what we're going to do tonight is our receiver spot stuff. So regardless of what offense you run, whether it's shuffle, crack down, 4 out, 1 in, 5 out, you can always have the base that you go to when everything breaks down. So you always get, you got pass A, B, C to D, but it gets stuck at B for 7 possessions in a row because someone doesn't want to pass it, or they just think that they can score. So then what do we do after that? Most kids will stand and watch. So we have rules in place of where we want to go on the floor. So we have the 5 Ds, a driver, a drifter, a diag, a dunker, and a drag. And we'll slowly go through all of them tonight. And this is one of the starting drills that we would do for our kids, and we'll build it up. And if you've got any questions, shoot them out when I stop drills, but we'll build it up slowly and hopefully it'll make sense when we get to the end. All right, so for the first bit here, girls, you're gonna throw it to Charlie and I. Your job is to sprint, so you guys are gonna go on the sideline a bit more, right? You start a little bit higher. So you're gonna throw it to me, you're gonna turn and sprint down the sideline to the corner to the drift spot. And what we're simulating here is penetration on the weak side, attacking the baseline. And we'll go into more detail about that, but all we're simulating really in a game is they've driven, can't score, now we're gonna pass it to the open corner. So right now, all Journey and Chloe's gonna do is throw it to the coaches. They're gonna sprint, they're gonna have chin on their shoulder, show their hands early, and on the catch, they must catch it in a jump stop. So it's gonna be here, catch it in a jump stop, drop your hips, and then shoot it. Rebound your own shot, come to the end of the line. Why, Rose, do you think we're catching it in a jump stop in there? Yeah? What's the other reason? What about where are we? Hey? Yep. What about location on the floor? Journey, help her out. Why are we catching in jump stop and not going left, right, or right, left? If I go left, right on this, step out of bounds, right? So we want to catch it in a jump stop, feet below our hips, drop our hips, hands ready. All you're going to do is shoot it, rebound your shot, go to the end. We're going to shoot 10 and switch sides. So you girls are going to stay on your side. All right, we good with that? We're shooting 10. You're going to shoot 10 individually. All right, and then when you're done, stop. All right, ready, go. Sprint the spots, drop your hands, catch and shoot. As soon as she shoots, you go, guys. Good sprint. Chin on your shoulder, catch it in a jump stop. Must land in a jump stop. Know where your feet are. Don't step out of bounds. Good. Sprint. Don't worry about the other balls. You're good. Keep going. Sprint the spots. Good. And freeze there. Freeze there. So now you'll see some of the girls are now sliding or not running. So what we want them to do is, if the ball was on that side of the floor when there was penetration, they're standing here on the opposite wing. We don't want them to slide. It's too slow. So we want to sprint. So really facing the baseline, chin on my shoulder, and then catch it at jump stop straight into my shot. So girls, you've got to have feet below your hips, shoulder width apart so you're not off balance. You can't catch it feet all over the place or feet really wide or feet skinny. You've got to be able to catch it in balance and land, and your hips down, hands ready on the catch so there's no fumbles, and then straight into your shot. Okay, we're not working on the shot technique right now, but that's what you got to get. Take all of the unnecessary moving parts away right now. All right, stay on whatever you're on and let's go. Ready, sprint, go. Sprint the spots. I'm glad you found that funny, Cassie. Sprint the spots, turn and sprint. Good, turn and sprint. Good, and freeze there. All right, so then you would flip sides. So what we would do in our practices are, we're going to shoot 10, and then we'd switch sides. Now the next one would be, we're going to start in the corner. So girls are going to start in the corner. So the next progression of this in receiver spots is penetration baseline. Obviously the first spot is looking in the corner to our drift spot, but now this is taken away from us. So this shot is no longer on for Rose. So what's next? We've got more kids on the court. The next spot would be the extra pass. So this person is in the extra passing spot. So we'd have two girls here. There'd be a girl in the key driving. There'd be the 5-man also at the front of the ring. And then normally the 4 or 3-man will drag in behind on the other side. So right now we're working on this bit. The other piece to this is sometimes when there's middle penetration from the weak side. So we just spoke about baseline drive, you would sprint to the corner. Now if there was middle drive, Rose can't sit and stay there all the time. It depends on how her defender plays her. So if Charlie's the offensive person, I'm guarding Rose, if I'm between the two of them, Rose is a non-threat right now, so she can't be seen. So the thing I say to my kids is, you need to get to where you can be seen. So does that make sense? So right now Rose is going to sprint and she's going to get catches on the 45. So for that exact reason. But also, if we had 3 girls on the court, if it was drive baseline, Rose can't shoot it. Now I'm here ready to catch and shoot this. So there's 2 scenarios where this shot could happen in our receiver spots. If this girl helps on the drive, I would encourage Rose to stay. So if there's anyone ever helps out of the corner, you always encourage them to stay. But if this person just sits in between both and does nothing, I'd encourage Rose to relocate. And it may not be all the way up, it'll be a read based on where the defense is, but that's what we're practicing right now. So girls, same thing, you're gonna throw it to the coaches, and you're sprinting, your footwork is a jump stop again, all right? We're gonna catch in a jump stop into your shot. Again, shoot 10. Charlie, be careful you don't get hit in the back of the head. Ready, go. Sprint the spots, chin on your shoulder, good. Down in stance, good Rose, good sprint. Eyes on the target, on the catch. Go Jenny. Charlie, you can stand lower if you want on the baseline. Good. Catch it in jump stop, you're right. Catch it in jump stops. Remember jump stops, good. Good girl. Good. Are you left-handed or right-handed? So have your feet more balanced. So when you land, you'll land on both feet together, right? Concentrate on that. Good, sprint, there you go, and land. There you go. You gotta stop lifting your left foot. Put more weight on your left foot, right? Go. Good girl, good sprint. Now left foot, ready? Better, all right, freeze there. Good, freeze there. So a couple other things too, it has to be relevant to your age group. So 14s, yeah, you could possibly start to do this, but if you had kids who don't have a great technique on the jump shot, maybe it would be catch there and shot fake and get on the one bounce, attack the rim. But we're trying to teach them the spacing of the game right now. So, and where you move off the ball. They might not necessarily shoot that shot, but that's where they should get a catch. So if we had a taller girl or a taller guy who doesn't really have a great shooting technique, I'd encourage them to go shot fake and maybe one bounce, or step into the shot as a coach pass. So as I throw it out, then they could step in and shoot a mid-range jump shot and get them to work on this. So you can tweak it to your cattle or who you've got you're coaching. And then really important things is, and I'll get onto it later, is the jump stop, where versus inside, outside foot, when you can play with both. If you're coming in on angled screens, then fine, it's always inside, outside footwork. But right now on the perimeter, when they're not looking to score off a drive, you should always be able to play off 2 feet. So now you can attack either way, especially coming up from that side. Next one, so the progression onto this is now we're gonna go Journey, you'll line up here. Girls, you come up to the top here. You guys don't need a ball. And we'll have a third line on the baseline. So let's just take a couple from each end. Rose, go stand on the basket for me. You've got the ball. So you guys don't need a ball right now. Just put them behind you, you're fine. Just so we don't get hurt. But come a couple of you, Chloe, come down here. That's right. All right, so Chloe, you're off. All right. First 2 girls are up, okay? So you're in line with the elbow on the yellow line, and Journey's there. So you other girls are off, so just take a step back for me. Rose, you're gonna start on the block, facing the ring. So right now we're gonna play 2-on-1 a little bit here, and we're still working on, these 2 girls are going to sprint to those 2 spots that we just worked on. So Journey's gonna sprint to the corner, and Tiana's gonna sprint to the diag spot. To start the drill, Rose is going to start on the block and make a layup. So she can just go no bounce, make a layup. As soon as she make it, she can get it and she can throw it to whoever she wants. And she's going to close out on them. And I'll talk about that in a second, but that's the start of the drill. You girls have got, the first person that catches it, you've got catch and shoot or catch and pass. That's all you can do. So Journey, if Rose throws it to you and you're open, you can shoot it. If she closes out really well on you, you would pass. But after the first pass is made, the next person has to shoot it. So you only get 1 pass. You good with that? Okay. Rose, on your closeout, you've got layup, throw it. You're going to close out on whoever you want, follow the ball or anticipate the next pass. For this, I want you to close out with 2 high hands above your head and short choppy steps. Then finish with a block out on the person that shot it. We won't worry about 1-on-1 after that. All right, we're good with that? Ready? Go. Good, get it and throw it and then close out. Good. Good. Good, so then drill's over. Next group in, everyone rotate a spot. Go for that for a couple of minutes. You guys are good. So now we're working on a bit of decision making for the offense. So when we play and we build it to 3-on-3 soon or 3-on-0, the girl that catches in the corner needs to know, is this the good shot I need to take, or do I need to throw it on to the extra person? Or vice versa, if I catch it on the wing, is this shot open, yes or no, I'll throw it on to the next person. So now I've got to be able to judge what's a good shot and a bad shot. If they're shooting contested shot, you can coach it. If they're shooting an uncontested shot, well, we reward them and give them some good praise. And then we're going to work on some bit of defense here, and we'll build it up to 2-on-2 in a minute as well. Freeze, 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 freeze. Go back. When we did the first shooting drill, what was the instructions for you girls that were running? Sprint to spots, not slide, right? And you want to get there early, hands ready, and drop our hips. So all I got to do is catch it and shoot it. We don't want to go like this or slide like this, and then you throw it to me. You're closing out on me. I get my feet set up. I make sure the ball's nice and comfy. I drop my hips, and then I shoot. It's too late, right? So early prep. While the ball's moving or while the ball's being driven, I'm sprinting to my spot, get 10 toes facing the ring. So now on the pass, it's just here, and then I'm gone. All right, we good? Okay, here we go. Drop your hips, down in stance, ready to play. Get it and go, throw it. You girls sprint straight away. Close out, good. Shoot it. Good. Here we go, a couple more. Let's go quick, girls. As soon as she goes to lay it up, good. Throw it, chase it, close out. Good. All right, freeze it. Now let's talk about the defense. So next group up. All right, so now, is it Angela? No. Caitlin. I'm not even close. Caitlin, on your closeout, for example, if I throw it to Rose, Rose, stay there. I want you to close out You've got short, choppy steps. You've got 2 high hands. You want to make them shoot over shots. Now, again, if your personal preference is you think one hand's fine, that's fine. I'm not telling you how to teach a closeout. I personally believe at junior level, these 16s, 14s, and 12s, it is much harder for an athlete to shoot over 2 contested hands over 1. Then also what your philosophy is on how you want to guard the ball. So do you want to close out high side and force baseline? Do you want to force middle? Or do you want to play them straight up? Right now, we're teaching in our high performance program to guard players straight up. So I personally believe if I close out with 2 high hands, now my feet will be more square and I'm able to play how I want them to guard them. If I'm telling an under 14s kid to close out with 1 hand, they will normally lead with 1 foot. So now they're susceptible to being attacked. That's my personal opinion. If you don't have it, that's fine. You can do it however you want. So you coach this drill how you want. So for now, I want you to close out with 2 high hands, short choppy steps, and every time you have to call ball. If you don't call ball, you got 2 push-ups, whoever it is. We're good with that? Yep, same drill. You just got to talk more and work on the D. Ready? Go. Sprint the spots, throw it and chase them. Throw it and chase them. Good girl. Good. And you can move on to the next one. Good. Here we go. Next group. Let's go. Couple more. Good. All right, now it's adding the second defender. So now we've got 2. So girls, same spots here. All right, so now you 2 are going to face each other. So 1 here and 1 there. As soon as one of you say go, you're going to sprint to your spots. You 2 must throw 2 passes. So you're going to throw it to Rose. Rose, you're going to throw it back. Then it's the same drill. You're going to throw it to whoever you want. You have to follow the ball. Rose, you've got the opposite. So now you're going to close out hard on the ball, 2 high hands, core ball, short choppy steps. Rose, you're going to close out in a gap position. So if the ball's there, you're going to close out short and be ready to help. So you don't need to go fully guard the girl in the corner. She doesn't have the ball. Then we're going to play 2-on-2. The biggest thing that I've also learned is a lot of our drills that we do as coaches, they terminate. So we tell kids to keep playing, like what's the next play, what's the next play? Well, we don't do that in training. So like normally, like the first drill, we've just done pass, close out, shot, miss or make. All right, next drill, next one's in. Well, what actually happens next in a game? So Journey, after you shoot this, what happens in a game? There'd either be a made basket and you would then become what? Defense, miss shot. You could be offense or defense if you got the rebound. So now we're teaching our kids to be a bit more aggressive and move on to the next play. So if it's a missed shot, we go and get the second chance, score on them again. And then we'll reward the offense and we'll give defense push-ups for not blocking out. So now we're teaching multiple things at once here. If it's a made shot, well, now we're in our full court defensive piece. So right now, after you girls shoot it, I want you to play 2-on-2 until there's a result. So if you girls get the defensive rebound, we're done. We're going to take it over to the side and I'll explain the next bit. Journey and Hazel, if you guys get the offensive rebound, I want you to keep playing. You've got 3 dribbles to get a score. I don't care how you do it. All right? Everybody good? All right, ready? Hold up. They got to call it. Go. Throw it and close out. Good. All right, so freeze there. So that's my fault because I talked too long. Go back. So what was the drill, Journey, at the start? Yeah, so you got catch and shoot or catch and pass. All right, here we go. Hold up. Go, Hazel, when you're ready. Good. Good, freeze there. All right, so now they get a defensive rebound. For the sake of this, we're going to take it out of bounds. Now we're going to start our full court D. So Rose now takes it out of bounds. Hazel, you were guarding Rose. So for the sake of this, you're going to guard her and make her go to the corner. All right? Again, coaches, if you start your point guard opposite and you make them sweep, if you start them on that sideline, you do this how you want. We're going to start them on the elbow just for the sake of it because we're only going to play down this side of the court. So who's on offense here? Charlize, you're here. We don't want to deny this. We're just playing man-to-man right now. So Journey's going to have 1 foot in front, 1 foot behind. We don't want her to full front because then it'll just be a lob over the top. We don't want her to play behind because then she gets whatever she wants. So we're forcing this to the corner. All right, that's your job, Journey. So you're going to need to get into her back, into her hip. You can have an arm on, you can lean on her. You can even get in behind her a little bit more and then push her to the corner. On this catch, when she catches this here, Journey, I want you to level her up. So I don't want you to dictate which side, just play her straight up. Hazel, I'm getting good with names tonight. You're going to sprint and be behind the line of the ball. So if I've got the ball If we draw a line across the court, this would be the line of the ball. Hazel needs to be behind the line of the ball and in between Rose and I. We call this the plug position. So Charlie's would run here, catch it, you'd square up. If she catches it, it's fine, you're not in trouble, we're not pressing. So you're here. Hazel, you turn and sprint, and you're in between wherever Rose and the ball is. So you're in the middle here, in the middle of both of them. And you've got one hip pointing to Rose, the other hip pointing to your player, the ball, sorry, and both hands up, pointing to them as well, and sitting down in stance. Now, for the sake of this, Rose can't go past the edge of the key, and you girls are going to scooch over a little bit just so we can get off the drill. And we're just going to play to halfway. If you want to play to full court, you can go to full court and go into transition and play 2-on-2, and then they can come and join back in. Again, you can tweak the drill how you like. All right, are we good with that, girls? All right, so let's play it out of bounds from here. You got it, Rose? Ready? Good. Sit down, guard. Good. Just play. 2-on-2 to halfway. Good. All right, and freeze it. Now come back here. So now when the point guard gives it up, so ball here. So right now Journey's called our dog position and Hazel's called our plug. But as soon as the ball is reversed, so Rose, go over a little bit more for me, please. As soon as the ball gets reversed, now the roles get reversed. So now Hazel closes out, and again, we need to be smart. If this is their second weakest ball handler, don't go and run at her. Like we're happy for her to keep the ball. So let's close out and then just guard her to where she's going to and just keep the ball in front of you. Right, so you've got a bit of pressure on the ball, must have one hand over the ball. Journey's now becomes our plug, so the roles are reversed. Is everybody okay with that? So and then we coach that through as well. All right, you girls are good. You jump off, next group in. So I need 2 on D. Someone jump in with Chloe, quick, someone jump in with Chloe. You girls are calling go. Sprint, good, close out. Stop, go back. Chloe, what's wrong? I don't know you got ball. Jenny doesn't know you got ball. Maybe both of you run to the ball, right? Here we go. Drop your hips. Box out and play. Go get it. Good. All right, out of bounds. Take it out of bounds. Let's go. Someone become the dog. Someone become the plug. Good. Sprint. Square off a bit more. Good. That's fine. Just play to halfway. Good. All right, next group. Let's go. Any 2 in. Grab a ball. Let's go. Jog back, girls. Make sure you jump off. Chloe, this way. Chloe, this way. Girls, what's wrong? No talk. What else? Everyone's like so scared of making a mistake right now. Don't worry about this. It's not going on Channel 9 News. We're okay. Come back. Who's never played basketball before? Okay, so we're okay. Right, let's come back up here. What do you two have to do? Sprint to spots, catch the ball, shoot or pass. That's it, and then play basketball. What do you two need to do? Make 2 passes, close out and guard the ball. If your girl doesn't have the ball, you don't have to close out on the ball, you close out on the space. Right? So if she throws it to the corner, she's closing out on the ball, you're just closing out and getting ready to help. If she throws it, then it's your closeout. You would close out on the ball, Journey jumps off. Oh, sorry, Charlie's would jump off. Okay? Ready? Here we go. Go play. Block out, go get it. Good, take it out of bounds, here we go. Go get a Rose, 1 foot, 1 in front, 1 behind. Good, square off, drop off. Good. It's like we scripted that, come back. So I haven't spoken about this. So the next piece to this is, ball here. The rule for the plugger is, if her offensive girl that she's guarding gets below her shoulder, she's got to go with her. So if I'll be Tiana, jump out Tiana. So if Hazel runs, I can't stay in man-to-man. Just lob it over the top and we're done. So Hazel, come. So as soon as Hazel takes off, I've got to keep her above my shoulder. So keep going, Hazel. I'm just going to keep her in front of me. And I'm saying to Rose, you're by yourself. We've got to stop bailing out the on-ball defender and just let them we can't just not be okay with not being able to guard the ball. Rose, figure it out. You have to contain the ball. That's part of basketball. All right? Sit your hips down, sit in and guard the ball. Don't get beat off the dribble. Like, they're 93 feet away from the other end. We don't need to gamble or do anything here. So just stay in front of her, Rose. You're by yourself. You've got no screens coming. You're fine. Okay? So if that happens again, now we know what we're doing, right? Let's take it out of bounds again. If she doesn't run, you're fine. Here we go. Good, drop your hips. Talk to him. Good, sit down and guard. Good. Good. All right, one more. Here we go, one more. Next group in, someone else jump in here for me, please. Good, box out, box out, box out. Get it, good, take it out of bounds, let's go. What's next? Good, sit down and guard, talk to her, Chloe. Good, Journey. Good. All right, you guys just chill out for 2. If you want a quick drink, go grab a quick drink. So then the other things that we can coach in that is, I don't know, maybe we tell, if it was only a one-on-one situation, you'd say, all right, Journey, I want you to turn the girl before halfway 3 times. 3 is probably a little bit unrealistic, but we'd probably challenge them to do more than what they can. So if they get 2, then we're happy with that. 14s probably should be able to get 3, 16s and 18s, depending if they're good guards or not. You can put in your own rules there, judged on who you've got. And then the talk on the D in the half court as well. Okay, you got 5 seconds, quick, let's go. That's why I said to you, do it while I talk to them. All right, Jenny, you go and start in the jump ball circle with the ball. Rose, you go make a line down there for me. Chloe, go in that corner for me. Caitlin, you go behind Journey for me, please. No, you take that, you take that. All right, just make even lines, and then Charlize, you grab the ball and go behind her as well. So you can start this drill however you want. So now we're going to build up into 3s. I have been starting my wings in the corner because in transition that we're teaching our kids to run wide and get to the baseline, to space the floor. But we have other action that goes on while they're bringing the ball up for that. So you can either start them in the corner, you can start them on the 45, you might even not start this person in the middle. They might just start 3 on the 3-point line. The ball's got to start there and get reversed, and then we're going to play. But I like to start it. Journey's going to dribble to either side. She's got to get in line with the elbow. These 2 girls have to sprint to get open. So right now we've gone away from making leads. I don't encourage that with under 12s and 14s, but in 16s and 18s with the stuff that we're doing for New South Wales, there's no need to waste time making a lead anymore. Kids standing there in the corner, if they're denied, what do we teach them in under 12s to do what? Back cut. So don't fight and waste time by taking a girl in here into the block to lead out. Especially if she's sagging off in here, just sprint, get a catch. If it's full denial, let them just dribble in and back cut out. Like, don't fight pressure with pressure, let's just be smarter. But again, your offense has to allow that. If you're into teaching them leads into 16s and 18s, then go for it. It's just, I think in 16s and 18s we can get away with it. But we also have high caliber athletes in our program, so their skill set is a little bit better to possibly what we'd coach at a rep level or a domestic level. So right now, girls, you must sprint 2 spots like we did in our receiver spots. You have to catch it in a jump stop facing Journey. All right? Again, this is where I come back to, when I was playing, it used to be dominant foot second, so if I was right-handed, when I catch it, I'd be going catch, left, right, and square up. Well, now we're taking decisions away from the athletes, so now everything's prescripted. We're telling them what to do, everything. They don't get to think for themselves anymore. So now, if they get to sprint and catch the ball in a jump stop, Journey has to throw it with her outside hand to my outside hand. I've got 10 toes facing her. I can square up however I want based on how she's guarding me. So I can rip, reverse pivot, rip and attack. Or if I want to get them off me, I can forward pivot and be aggressive. But if you always catch it left foot, right foot, or your inside foot, outside foot, now you can't. You can't reverse pivot anymore. I catch it here and I have to forward pivot. Or our kids will fall out of bounds and throw it back and be a turnover. So I'm a big believer in that. Again, if you're not, that's fine, but that's the pros that I see to it. So girls, you're going to sprint to spots. Journey's going to throw it to whoever you want. All right, let's just get that done first. Journey, you must take 1 bounce towards the elbow, whatever elbow you want to go. You have to get out of the jump ball circle, right? All right, here we go. Good, free. So now you've got to get 10 toes to the ring, Rose. I don't care how you square up, okay? But if you do square up, you've got to get your ball, it can't go through the no strike zone. So we speak to our kids a lot about not bringing the ball through your shoulders and hips. It's got to be over the bottle or a rip through. So if they forward pivot and they're right-handed, they would bring it from ear to ear and square up, or they can rip it underneath their knees and square up, and same on a reverse. You catch it here, you can go over the top, or you can rip it through and play, but they have to get it from one side of their body to the other side of their body from hips or shoulders, and it can't go through this area. So later on, we'll do pivoting stuff and it doesn't involve any bouncing. They just work on pivoting and not getting tips. From here, we're going to work on the receiver spot stuff. So now Rose is our driver. She's going to drive baseline side. She's got to go 2 dribbles. So we call it 2 and 2. She must get in the key in 2 dribbles and land on 2 feet and get as close to the ring as she can. Multiple reasons. If she continues to go in here and her layup's taken away, she's probably running out of bounds and throwing a pretty aimless pass. If she can get to 2 feet and be balanced, she's got shot fakes. She can pivot and throw it to whoever she wants. She can be poised, she might even get a shot fake and she can still play. But if she goes through on 1-2, she's either got shot or she's throwing it to the corner. Unless they're a WNBA, NBA athlete, they're not throwing it to the next person. So you must go off 2 and 2. You girls must what? Sprint to spot. So for this journey, just for the sake of this one, I want you to sprint to the diag. Chloe, you're becoming a drifter. So there's 3 Ds. Driver, diagonal to the ball, that's why we call it diag, and drift to the corner. So there are our 3 spots right now. First one's just going to be you're catching and shooting, other 2 rebound, hop off. Girls, you can throw it to either side. All right, we're good with this? Any questions? All right, here we go. Sprint to spots, go, good. Now you can go away, journey, good, and score. Be aggressive, jump stop, and throw it, and rebound, go. Good, next group, let's go. Whenever you're ready. Rotate a spot each, take the ball at the top if you're going. You don't need me to say go, you just sprint and you dribble, Caitlin, go. You don't need me. No, I want you to throw it to the corner every time, but that's okay. Throw it to the corner every time right now. Drift spot every time. You don't need me, girls. So now we're going to work on the finer details. So off the bounce, being able to throw a good pass to the outside hand, catching and squaring up, make sure we've got 10 toes to the ring, sprint to spots. The first shot, and it's not picking on Chloe, but the first shot that Chloe took, how many steps did she take? She didn't catch it in a jump stop. So now we're trying to build in those good habits. We don't want to catch it footwork left, right, or right, left in the corner because they step out of bounds. You see it happen in the NBL. So if catching a jump stop and they're balanced, they can just shoot it straight away. Girls, freeze there. What's the footwork for the girl that's shooting the ball in the corner? What is it? All right, so now when I get this pass from Journey, it's jump stop into my shot. Okay? Got to sprint the spots. Chloe, you got 1 big dribble. Off the bounce, you're going to throw it to, or if you're going right, Journey's outside hand. So Journey, you got a target hand, so it's catch, jump stop, and then rip aggressively, so you got 10 toes facing the ring. Not rip it, so now you've got 5 toes facing the ring and your other toe back here. Or if you go forward pivot, too far. All right, just get 10 toes facing the ring, and now you can decide middle or baseline. Right now, just stay with baseline. Ready, go. Sprint to spots, big dribble, Chloe. Good, reverse and go, sprint hard. Jump stop, good, and rebound. Another one, go. Good. All right, good. Next one now. So now what happens in a game when they close out well on the drift? If I close out here on Hazel, when you throw this, Chloe, what's your option, Hazel? Pass, right? So really simple. Pass it. Now you're going to be catching it in a jump stop. You're expecting the pass. You're here. It's catch, land, shoot it. All right, does that make sense? Then the other 2 are rebounding. Yeah? You're looking at me like blank faces, I'm worried. All right, ready, go, sprint. Good, step into it, rebound. Good, next group, let's go, Journey. As soon as you're ready, go. Sprint to spots, good. Turn and sprint. Good, let's go, let's go, let's go. Good, strong pass, good. Jump stop, square up, drive hard. The other really important thing is too, the reason why we go 2 and 2 is the amount of time, when we go to 3 on 3 in a minute, I guarantee you the first 5 possessions, maybe by Journey and Chloe, they'll take 2 or 3 dribbles and not make it to the edge of the key. So they're never really penetrating to score, it's penetrate to pass the ball. So right now, we're instilling in them 2 dribbles and you must get 2 feet, you're trying to get in the charge circle. And again, depending on your athletes, if that's under 12s or 14s, that's probably unrealistic. But they should be getting 2 and 2 and getting very close to the charge circle. Chloe took 3 dribbles. And then Got to be great passes. Got to throw it to their hands. Got to have hands ready. Drop your hips. Good. All right, next group. Freeze there. Rose, when you get a catch here, what are you thinking? If we were playing 3-on-3 where we're going to, what's your thought process here? Can you score? So if we were talking about every time this girl gets a catch, can you score? How would you rate your drives right now out of 10 to scoring? No, not very high, right? Why? Because Curtis said drive to the key, jump stop and pass it to the next person, and the next person is going to pass to the next person. Right? So right now, Rose, I want you to think I'm scoring every time. If I do a pretty poor job driving and there's the best defender in the state guarding me, you're getting to here and this pass is not happening. Right? So it's got to be here. I'm aggressive. Jump stop, however you want to pivot, rip, 1, 2, and I'm getting to here. Really close. So if I go to pass it and the defense jumps off me, oh, I'd score. But you're out here, you can't do that, right? So we've got to get 2 feet deep in the key, outside hand pass, outside hand step, throw it to them on the money, hard and flat passes, right? If you throw it out of bounds right now, are you going to get shot? No, we're at practice. You can make mistakes, it's okay. It's on camera, but it's okay, all right? We want to throw it to them on the money, all right? You want to have your hips dropped, hands ready so I can catch and shoot. All right, let's give me a couple of good ones here. Ready, go. Sprint to spots, jump stop, drive to score, Charlie. Drive to score. Good, jump stop, hard passes, good. Both of you rebound. Good. That's fine, good. Next group, let's go. How many bounces is that, Chloe? Yes, not being athletic enough. Get your hips down. Good, next, that's all right. Last one here, good. Drive hard, get 2 in there, Caitlin. Better. That's all right, you got to work on it. That's fine. Good, all right, next group's up. Let's get it to, throw it to whoever you want, throw the extra pass and freeze, go. Good, jump stop, drive to score, jump stop, pass, shots taken away, pass. Can't shoot it, freeze, stay there. What can we do next? Yeah, what are your options? Good, why couldn't you drive it?
Because there was defensive?
Well, let's say there was no, defense was okay. Why wouldn't you re-drive it? Chloe, help me out. Hey? Yep, so it's a redrive, but why wouldn't I do it? That's what we tell you at camp, but if you were just thinking about basketball, what's stopping her from driving in right now? You can say it, go. Yeah, there's multiple defenders in here. Charlize has now gone and collapsed the defense, so her girl's in here, the 5-man and the 5-man's defenders in here. These 2 girls are probably sitting on the edge of the key. Now the ball gets passed, they haven't gone very far. So for you to turn and run into traffic, probably going to get blocked, it's going to be a contested shot, much easier to catch and shoot or move it on. So that's why you don't redrive. But why do you think you can redrive now? The defense is all shifted, right? Now we've started to get out. As soon as the next pass is made, Charlie, you're sprinting to relocate. We don't need you in here anymore. So you're sprinting to get out and you're just sitting and waiting. Your defender will start to sag out, the 5-man will relocate and the 4-man's sitting out there. So now your shot's taken away, you would drive middle and you're going to go 2 and 2 as well. You're going to try and go 1, 2, look to score here. If you don't have it, you've got that. What was the first drill that we did? The very first shooting drill. She would sprint to lift if her girl is between her and the ball. So if Charlie's in the corner, and when you drive, Tiana, drive, jump stop. If you can't see her, you're sprinting to there to now make my decision really hard. I've got to decide, am I going to go help my teammate and guard the ball, or am I going to come and take you? Now, if I stay in here and help, what do you got? Uncontested shot, which is what we want. But if I take you away, now it's just one-on-one with you, Tiana. So now you're jump stopping, you got shot fakes, you got your pivots. We're working on our fundamentals and hopefully we're out-skilling the other team now. All right, so we're good with that. So now we're going to go split, kick, extra pass. You're going to shot fake and drive hard, 2 and 2. The girl in the corner can either stay, catch and shoot, or sprint to lift, catch and shoot. But you've got to decide before she lands on her jump stop. Are we okay with that? All right, here we go. Sprint to spots, nothing changes. Drive to score. Good, extra pass. Sprint out, Charlie, sprint out to the corner. Good, get to wherever you want to get to. Good, other two rebound, other two rebound. Good, next one, let's go. Next group in, here we go. Rotate a spot. Jump stop, 10 toes to the ring, drive to score. Sprint out, Hazel. Good, jump stop, Caitlin. Outside hand pass, good. That's right, next group, here we go. Now the other thing is, they'll start cheating. So, as soon as the ball goes right every time, because everybody's right-handed, as soon as Rose catches it, this girl will get straight to the corner. The rule is, you can't go to the drift spot until she puts it on the floor. Because what if she doesn't put it on the floor? Now you're out of floor balance, you might get through your offense, so now they'll start to cheat. So now we just got to tell them this is why you do it and when you do it, so they understand the who, what, where, and the why. Good. All right, girls, question. Rose, which way are you going to throw it? That's not a trick question. Where are you going to throw it this side? All right. When does Tiana drift? When is it her job? When? When she drives. So if I catch it now, Tiana, do you start going? So go stand out there, opposite me. If I've got the ball, do you start going now? When do you go? As soon as I put it on the floor. All right, so don't go early, don't get comfortable now. As soon as they put it on the floor, that's when you sprint to spots. Okay? Ready? Go. Good. Sprint away, good. Rebound, other two, rebound. Oh, you got to sprint out, Caitlin, sorry, my fault. You're good. Jump stop, Caitlin. Here we go, next group, go. Jump stop. Good, all right, freeze there. So now we're gonna go, just you two stay there. I need two defenders here. Chloe, you go take your line on the wing. Rose, take yours on the wing. Journey, bring your line to the yellow line. Ball's gonna start here. So girls, just even the lines out. So you three can go, Tiana, go behind Rose. Charlie, you go behind Journey. Throw me that ball. All right, so we're gonna work on 3-on-2. Bit of rotation, but also what it looks like when we've got defense. So right now there's going to be an extra offense. We'll live with the open shot because it's unrealistic for two kids to guard three. So you girls are gonna throw it across. Okay, now when you throw it across, you're gonna mark the opposite girl to you. When you throw it out, Hazel, you girls will pitch it around to Rose, and then we're gonna play what we just worked on. You're gonna close out opposite to you, which is Journey. When the ball gets to Rose, just freeze. All right, so let's start back here. On the baseline, off the court. Everyone's got their hips down in stance, ready to play. You must close out, two high hands, core ball, short choppy steps. Yep. When a pass is made, what would you do on defense? If you go and guard Chloe and they throw it, what would you do? Jump to the ball, right? And that's what we need to do when the ball gets to Rose as well. Ready? Go. Good. And freeze. Good. So now, we're simulating that Rose has beat her defender. We're not worried about that bit right now. We're worried about our rotations, and we're going to teach what are the girls doing on offense when this breaks down. So Rose, what's your job? 2-on-2 in the key. If you got a layup, you're taking it. If it's taken away from you, you know what to do. You girls are doing what, Chloe and Journey? Sprint to spots, drift and diag, okay? Now, balls here, you'd probably be low split. Hazel, you're probably towards the elbow, right? And remember, hips to ball, hips to your man. See both, drop back. Can you see both if you look straight ahead? Yes. Okay, now probably move a little bit over to the left. There you go, you're good. All right, so now on defense, if your teammate gets beat, who would stop the ball right now? Basket, right? So you're gonna call go. You're gonna sprint and call go, and you're gonna stop Rose outside the key. You have to guard her, it's a game, okay? You two sprint to drift and diag, all right? Rose, come here. You've stopped it, what's your name, sorry?
Emma.
Emma, you've stopped ball, good. Now Hazel, normally you would sprint and cover basket. Go sprint and cover basket. Go stand on the basket. What's the purpose of the girl covering the basket? That's not a trick question, I'm just asking. Like when we did this, when I played, what is the purpose of the girl or male? To what? Yep, who's doing the layup? Who? Okay, but if we stop the ball, yeah, she needs to take first pass. Now, what's the hardest thing to do in the game defensively? Say it again. Yeah, before that, what's the actual skill? Close out. So we're asking Hazel to do the hardest thing in the game, which is close out on a girl 5 meters away from her when Emma's established that she stopped the ball. So Emma stopped the ball, we don't need to have Hazel here. So when we rotate now, we rotate out. Because Hazel's job is to stop the first pass out. So Hazel, you come and stand here. As long as Hazel can see both of them and the ball, so you might need to drop a bit here, Hazel. Now we've put her in a better position so she's not compromised on the closeout. She sits under the ring here. This is a really bad closeout for her. 5 meters, and they're running downhill at the ring. Whereas now Emma's guarded the ball. Rose's defender would be me. I'm getting beaten. I'm trying to get back into this. So this pass for Rose now is possibly a difficult one and not a straight zip pass that we saw in the 3-on-0. Hazel's got a shorter closeout, and we're going to be okay when we play 3-on-3 in a minute. So right now, Hazel, your job is to just close out on the first pass. So throw it to whoever you want, Rose. You must close out on that one. I don't want either of you two to worry about Chloe. I'm not expecting, so Chloe gets to shoot an open shot here unless Journey's selfish and shoots it. Okay? So Journey, if you've got an uncontested shot, you shoot it. If you don't, what's the thing that we would do? And Chloe, you must shoot it. Then we're going to play 2-on-2 with you two. Chloe, you're out of it. Whoever shoots it, they're out. Does that make sense? All right, here we go. Let's go. Yep, from the very start. Ready? Go. Got to talk? Cool, go. Good. Close out, Hazel. Good, good. And box out. Now play 2-on-2. Good. Freeze, and then you would go, take it out of bounds, point guard, and then you play 2-on-2 back to halfway. All right, but we won't right now. All right, next group, go. So just give me 2 defenders and 3 new girls on O. Try and give me someone new every time. Charlize, come and stand on the yellow line for me. Good girl. Ready? Heroes, good. Close out, cold ball. 2-hand closeouts, good. Go, go, go. You got to call go. Good, throw it to everyone, Tiana, good. Rose, stay here. Box out, box out, box out, box out. Good, rebound, good. Next group, let's go. Wait, balls here, balls here. You good? Ready? Go. Sprint closeouts, sprint closeouts. Good, Charlize. Good, Tiana, your split line. You got to stop ball. Close out. Now you two box out. No, stay there, Tiana. Box her out, box her out, box her out. Get it. Good. All right, freeze it. Now let's add in a third defender. So obviously I wouldn't progress this quickly, but I'm running out of time and I'll show you what the purpose of it is, big picture. So now 3 girls on the baseline. 3 lines. Just outside the key, under the ring, and just outside the key. All right, so now we pass all the way across. Chloe, you're going to end up guarding Journey. Emma, you will guard Rose. Tiana, you've got Caitlin. When the ball gets to Journey, freeze, okay? So just walk it through, it's fine. We're walking through this, go. Pass, close out, pass, close out. Good, jump to the ball, good. Now you can implement this one of 2 ways. You can put in a rule where Chloe has to get beat. So I would say to Chloe, you've got to get both toes outside the 3-point line before you can join back in. All right, does everybody understand that? Or we just let them play straight up now, and now I'm going to teach Journey, you have to beat her to create the split. So now we're teaching each other, you need to become a better defender, Chloe, don't get beat off the dribble. Journey, the whole reason for you driving is to get 2-on-2, so you better figure it out. And this can apply to middle or baseline drive. The receiver spots are still exactly the same, whether she goes through the elbow or baseline on this right now. Okay, so right now we're going to say you have to beat her. You just guard her, close out and guard her, and we're going to play. So Emma, you'd be on split line. Tiana's there. Let her walk past you right now. So as soon as, freeze there. As soon as Chloe gets beat, it's the basket's call or captain's call what we're in, stay or go. Go means switch, which is when Emma will stop the ball, Tiana will take away the pass, and then Chloe's going to get to the other side of the floor. If Chloe was in front of Journey, Emma's calling stay, which means stay. Everyone stays with their own player. However, similar to our rotation rule, we don't need these two here anymore. More so Emma than Tiana. So when you call out stay, Emma, you go and get closer to Rose because we've established that the ball is being stopped. We've contained the ball. I don't need to be here. Journey throws it. What are we putting our kid in again? A really bad closeout. Putting him in the worst situation possible. So if on each dribble, as the ball gets closer to my defender, I get closer to my defender. If it was passed away or dribbled away, as the ball goes away from my defender, I get away from my defender. Does that make sense? All right, here we go. Let's go.
When would I call stay or?
So good question, Emma. So Emma's call was, when do I call stay or go? Well, firstly, if she gets beat straight away, you'd call go. But the call needs to be halfway between the 3-point line and the key. She can't call stay here or go here because it's going to be too late to rotate. We want to stop her outside the key. So probably where Journey is now, you got to make a decision.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if it's right or wrong right now. Just make a decision, stay or go. Chloe's job, she's going to sprint to the other side of the floor because Chloe gets beat and take the leftover pass, and then we'll be on 3-on-3. So you've still got first pass.
I definitely get beat. Black card.
No. Offensively or defensively here? Yeah, so they're still going that way anyway. Yeah. So either way, middle drive or baseline drive, they both are going drift and diag. If we had a fourth person, which I'll put in quickly before Sam's go, I'll show you where that person will go. All right, ready? Go. So freeze. What'd you call, Emma? So what do you got to do? All right, so ball's here with Journey. Chloe, you guarded her. If you call stay, you got to turn and get to that. Ready? So call stay from here. Ready?
Stay.
Go, sprint, play. Good. Sit down and guard it, Tiana. Sit down and guard it. No screening. Box out. Good, next group. Let's go quick. Quick girls. Get me 3-on-O, 3-on-D. Let's go. Come on, Chloe. Good, get close to yours. Good, take it away. Hands dead. Pivot, Tiana. Good work, get it. Turnover, good. And again, if Charlie's is there and Rose is just sitting down, I don't know if that pass gets taken away because now she tries to throw it over the top. One more go. Hazel, let her beat you. You got to get both toes over the 3-point line. When you close out on Rose, you got to get toes over the 3-point line. Ready, go. When she catches it, now go, beat her. That's fine. So freeze, stop. Tiana, did you call anything? Quick, let's go again. Last one. You got to call stay or go. When she catches it, go past her shoulder so she beats you. Go. When she catches it, go past her. Go. Good.
Call something.
Freeze. That's all right. What do you got to call? Stay or go. No one heard you, right? You're quiet as a mouse. Throw it here, Caitlin. Rose, you're here. Hazel, you got beat. So you call go, Tiana. You've got ball, and you got to stop her outside the key. Hazel, you'd probably be close to her hip. Charlize has got the first pass. Throw it to whoever you want, Rose. Good. So then Charlize has got ball. Hazel, you've got the leftover because we've already helped you, so you don't have to help her again. You'd stay with Rose. You'd match up with that. So let's go back here and try and do that in real time now so you make me look good. Let her beat you, Hazel. Go. Good. Close out. Rotate. Good. All right, girls, you get a quick drink while Sam sets up. So even though we rotated, worst case scenario was 3-on-3. And all the girls got to do is guard the ball for 3 dribbles. So now we teach the kids how to guard the ball for 3 dribbles. And it doesn't matter how you rotate. So that's what we've been teaching at the next level. I'll stop talking now so Sam can have a go. Thanks. We'll do question time at the end. Feel free to write them all down.
Just go make sure it's still working.
Huh?
Just go make sure it's still working.
What, on the screen?
Yeah. Huh? Pair up with someone, 1 ball between, a ball each. Ball each. Who can't do this, by the way?
each or ball each pair?
What's her name?
Charlie.
Charlie, over here for me. You're going to stand here? Yeah, ball each. I said it like 3 times, yeah?
I didn't know if you know.
All right. So the action or the clinic tonight that I'll be doing will be on away screens. So I spoke to Leonie about possibly a topic we could do it on, and she, sorry, I got a bit of a cough. She suggested away screens. So first of all, we'll just kind of talk about the purpose of a screen. Now, I'm pretty sure we all know that. It's just to create an advantage for the offense so we can score. I'll talk about some things that we do at Basketball New South Wales. So we have the 3 S's as the cutter and the screener. So when I say cutter, I mean the player coming off the screen, and the screener is the one setting the screen. So we have the 3 S's, and it's for both players, and it's just a kind of a process that they go through to help them in that action. Now, it may change in a year's time. I think in the year I've been here, Rose, I may have changed it 4 times. Okay, so I think every time I see them, I change it, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to stick with these 3 S's for a while. And I'll get into those when we start the actual drill. We'll talk about how to defend the away screen, and I'll just talk about 2 most common ways: gap and over or under, and switching. I think everyone's switching nowadays, so I'm going to talk about that, how to switch, and I'll talk about how to attack the switch. And I'll talk about not necessarily the types of screens, so down screen, back screen, flare screen, cross screen. I'll talk about the screen's purpose. So what I mean by that would be, there's a few types. We call it a headhunt screen, so we go and make contact with the defender. So kind of like an on-ball screen, how we teach them to go up and make contact straight away. There is a clean-up screen, so if we're in a staggered screen situation where there's 2 screens, the first one's the headhunt, to go and hopefully make contact with the defender, and the second screen's the clean-up. So they're just waiting, and they see the defender coming, and they might move to clean them up a little bit. And the last screen I'll talk about, or the purpose, is the positional screen. Now this one you'll definitely see when you play against zone, and your point guard, which this always happens, they bring the ball up the court and they run their man-to-man offense, and then they see they're in a 2-3 zone, and the players kind of go, what do we do? And they screen thin air. They don't screen anyone. And you're yelling out, screen someone, right? So 1, they have to know where to screen in the zone action, and 2, sometimes a positional screen is actually a good thing. And I'll explain why that's a good thing a bit later. So every drill we kind of do, we want to build, and we add a layer of progression or an element of difficulty every layer that we go through. So you might have a 20-minute block, you might have a 15-minute block, or a segment, or a series, whatever you want to call it, but throughout that block, 20 minutes, you want to make sure the drill progresses every time. We don't want to do the drill in isolation so much. And I guess when we were younger, when we played, the amount of times we'd do 5-on-0, like we'd do it for 3/4 of the session, 5-on-0, 5-on-0, 3-on-0. And I guess the research nowadays shows that experiential learning, so making sure, trying to put the athletes in the position where they'll actually come across that in the game. So 3-on-3, 3-on-2, 2-on-1, 2-on-2. It looks ugly, and we kind of want to not do that so it looks pretty and we look good. All right, but we got to put them in a situation where they're challenged straight away. So I'll build it quite quickly. In saying that, I will do it in isolation for a couple of minutes just to show you the reads that we make. So we're going to work off a down screen. So all the athletes, please come over here. You're going to start at the wing. Charlie, you can start there. Now, very rarely do you get 10 players to practice, unless it's a rule, you have to get 10 players to practice, but I know that it's 8, it's 7. You do this both ends. Obviously, I wouldn't have 9 players in a line over there. I would try to split it so they get more reps. So we're going to skip the ball to the receiver here. So Charlie. Now, Rose is going to start at the wing. And the reason we want to play up higher is there's always space beneath the defense. So whenever we do any action, there's always space beneath the D. So if I start here defensively, there's a lot of space beneath me, which allows Rose to maybe back cut for a score. If we start really low, and Rose is all the way down at the corner, there's not much space beneath me here. So we want Rose to start up high. And we spoke about the 3 S's. The first S that I want Rose to think about is set up. So she's got to set her defender up. Now, the way we do that is misdirection. We'd step one way to go the other way. All right, that's one way we can trick them. The second S is smart. So the smart aspect would be reading the defense of the screener and then reading her defender. So what do they do? How can I counter that? And the last S is separate. So they want to separate from their defender and then also separate from the screen's defender. Now, again, you may have something completely different. You may have the 3 Ps, the 3 Ds, right? Any is fine, but I think the message has got to be consistent. So then you're teaching the same message throughout the whole year, and then they just have a method and step-by-step to go through in the game when there's pressure. So our first S is set up. So Rose just takes one step, tricks her defender. If her defender does not react and stays here, we'd back cut. So that's the first one we're going to do, girls, okay? We're going to skip it to Charlie. You're going to get your head up. You want to step. They don't react. You just back cut. You're going to pass the ball. And we're going to work on different finishes. How many times in a game do we get a normal layup? In a fast break, that's probably the only time. So I want you to work on reverse layups, floaters, jump stops, Euro steps. Let them be creative here. Like, I don't care if they one-step layup, right? They want a backboard tap it, that's okay as well, right? Let them be creative because they love it when they start trying to be creative. We might not, but they do. All right, ready, Rose? Go. Give me something creative. Here we go, next one, next one. As soon as she passes it, go. Next, go. I'm liking our creativity. We've done reverse layups. Here we go. Try something different. There we go. Step through. Next, let's go. So we can see they might need some lessons from you as coaches on creativity. Okay, so maybe show them some dunks and Euro steps. Again, I wouldn't have 9 players here because they're getting no reps. Right, hold there. So our next cut. So that's the back cut. Now, as they skip it, well, as you skip it, take a step in. Defensively, I'm not jumping the high side. I'll stay between the cutter and the basket. Now you're going to come off the screen. Now, what's important when we come off the screen? We all know we go shoulder to shoulder or shoulder to hip. So we've got to rub past the screen so there's no gap for the defender to get through. All right? Your action, first one, what's the first S? Set up, second S, smart. So now the defender, the offensive player is reading me. So take a couple of steps in. As you go, you kind of see or feel me behind you. That's one thing you look at and you're seeing. The other thing is where this defender is. So if they're all the way back here, what might you do? You might curl into the space. All right, so we've got our head up, we're being smart, we're seeing what's going on. So we call that a curl cut, okay? Now, I'm sure some of us are familiar with the gather step now. So there's a new travel rule out. Came out in 2017. It's tough because the refs are adapting, we're adapting, the players are adapting, but it's not going to go away. So we've got to try to learn to coach it. Now, what the gather step means is there's a step 0. So as I come off the screen, I can catch here and then come to a jump stop. So I can pretty much take an extra step. Now there's times where I can't do that. So if I catch the ball from a standstill, right? But if I'm catching on the run, I can go, well, let's say I'm just catching on the run, I can step, jump stop, and then take a dribble and go. If I'm dribbling the ball, I can dribble the ball, 0 step, and then I can go 1, 2, score a layup. And there's a variety of other things you can do as well. But that's a new rule. So not sure I'd teach it straight away. Maybe give them the video of it and let them see it and then see if they can play with it when they're practicing themselves. So you're going to curl for a jump shot. Go. Take a step down and sprint. Next person. Take a step down and go. Now the other thing I want you to look at is look at the cutter's eyes. Where are they looking? Every one of them looks at the passer the whole time. So they're not actually seeing the floor. So we want to encourage them to start seeing or visualizing where the defense is. So we all see that he's got eye contact with the passer. Right, hold there. So just spoke to the coaches then about it. Girls, as we're coming off, instead of looking at the passer the whole time, we want to look and visualize where the defender is or the defenders are. So I step and I'm looking here. When you get older, the passer's good enough to throw you the ball when you're open. So you don't need to look and you don't need to clap, right? We don't need to go, right? Drives people crazy. So a step, I sprint, I'm looking, and then I'll hands up, and now I can catch the ball into my shot. Ready? Couple more. Go. Sprint. Good. So again, try to get them to start visualizing where a defender might be. Their speed needs to get a little bit better, so step and then sprint. Go. All right, hold there. So what was our last S, Rose? Separate. So the separation part's quite easy. It's just you need to sprint past and off the screen so we can cause some separation between you and the defender. The next cut we'll do is a straight cut. So we're just going to step down. Again, set up, smart, separate. So set them up, I'm smart, I'm looking, they lock and trail. I'm going to straight cut up top and then shoot the jump shot here, or I can shoot a three-pointer. It's up to you. The reason you do that is the defender is up here in this position, right? They're at the high split line, they're in line with the screen, and it's hard for you to curl there. Do you understand? All right, go. This is another option. So we've had back cut, curl cut, straight cut, and the next one we'll do is a flare cut. That'll be the last one I'll show you, and then we'll play out of it. Sprint faster, go. You all right? All right, hold there. Last cut, and then we'll play some one-on-one off it. Last one's a flare cut, right? So you're here, Rose. You're gonna skip, throw the ball over, take a step down or towards the basket. We wanna set up. Now, as you start to sprint off, you see, I'm smart, I'm looking, your defender cheat and go underneath the screen. We want to still pretend like we're coming off the screen, so you make the defender think you're doing that, and then at the point of the screen, you can plant your foot and backpedal, and you pretty much get back to where you were. Right, so I step down, smart, or sorry, set up, I'm smart, I'm looking, I plant, and then I can yell out flare. And the reason why we could communicate this one is you could take an extra bounce if you need to create a better passing angle, because there's quite a hard pass from here and a skip pass. You might take a dribble. You also let the screener know that they may readjust their screen. So it's from here, they might turn to here to make themselves wider, so it's harder for the defender to go underneath. Right, or get around it. Ready, go. Yell it out. Back pedal. Next person, go. So you can add things onto this. When you're doing isolation, they've got to get the rebound, score it, so they've got to put it in before, and make it a competitive thing. Don't just have it like this where it's non-competitive. Make it competitive so they're actually getting something out of it. There's some pressure. Let's go, next. All right, hold there. I want you to pair up. So Rose and Journey, just step up for me. So now we're going to play one-on-one. Now the chairs are there to indicate a screen, a very wide screen, okay? But I'm doing that to make it a little bit easier for the offense. If you feel like offense is scoring every single time off this, remove a chair and only have two chairs so it's harder for the defender. Now the defender can't run through the screen. You can't jump over the chairs. You either got to follow her around or you can cheat and go underneath. Now it's Journey's ability to then see and be smart and read and react and make a decision to get an open shot, right? You have two bounces, Journey, to score. Now another thing we really like to do with all our drills, and I really recommend this because it brings out competitiveness in all the athletes, is something we call multiple scores. So if offense score, let's say we're going first athlete to make 5 baskets, right? If offense scores, they get 1, they can get the rebound, score again, get the rebound, score again. So we're encouraging the defense to keep playing and box out until they come up with the ball, right? And you might find Rose, I think we did a post-workout last week, same thing, Rose scored 7 points in the first drill, all right, in the first segment of it. So the game came over pretty quick, but it just teaches Journey or whoever else was marking her to they've got to box out and they've got to get the rebound. The other thing you might do is have no out of bounds. So you're actually making them play and play without any boundaries. All right, ready? Go. Next two girls, come on. Throw it and then go, play. Multiple scores as well. So it starts to get messy. You just got to be comfortable with the mess. And I want to coach on the run here, because what one girl might do, the others might not. Did you throw that, Chloe? Passes. Go. Just, okay. Throw, go, Chloe. Don't forget to set her up. Keep going. Don't forget multiple scores. Good, nice decision. Keep going. Good, next. And constantly challenge their thinking. Has anyone back cut yet? All right, so we've got to keep asking them questions so they're challenging their thought process to try to get a good shot. Box out, offensive rebound. Get after it, Rose. Good, way to compete, you two. Don't cheat the drill. Nice, we'll just leave the chairs alone, please. All right, hold there. Way to get after it. All right, another progression. No bounces now. You're not allowed to bounce the ball. So now we're really trying to have them emphasize the importance of setting their player up, being smart, and the separation part's huge here. All right, because they don't separate, they're not getting an open shot. So there's no bounces. Ready? Go. Good. Defensive, let's play a little bit more aggressive than that. Get after him, defense, go. Nice back cut. Better pass, Charlie. Don't worry about that. Turnover. Next two, let's go. Got to learn from that. Ready? Stop, go back. Chloe, what didn't you do? Dancing a little bit. All right, here we go. One thing is that they don't want to be here is indecisive. Right, you see when they get to the point of the screen, they start dancing around a little bit. Just tell them to make a decision and stick to it. Do we need to do a passing drills at the start? Here we go. Blake's your network coach. Come on, Blake. Good, nice decision, well done. Oh, extend for a layup. All right, not too bad, good job. I need one player up top here. You're gonna stay at the wing for me, Charlie. Player at the wing and a defender guarding either one of those players. It doesn't matter, just one defender. One defender. Right, so I would definitely have a passer here. I wouldn't have coaches passing the ball. All right, because sometimes we want to have the athletes get as many reps as possible, but then we pass the ball, and really they're not learning to pass the ball and read the defense. And then in the game, they actually turn the ball over because they haven't practiced that skill yet. So I'd always have an athlete here passing the ball, and you as a coach, you want to be in a position where you can see everyone and constantly give coaching and feedback throughout the session. So now it's 2-on-1. So we've still got an advantage for the offense. So Chloe's going to start at the top. Ball's at the wing. I'm not going to go into our defensive positioning here. We're just going to reverse it. Now, same 3 S's for Chloe or the screener. set up, smart, separate. Same 3 S's. So Chloe sets her player up. There may be an option if Rose doesn't jump to the ball, you may be able to step away and then basket cut and score a layup. First and foremost, we got to play basketball. Don't be robots. So try to encourage the athletes again to be creative and play different positions. Don't always be the screener if you're a big. Make sure you're also the cutter. If Rose does jump to the ball, you may actually take a step this way towards Rose. And then if she doesn't adjust, you might back cut to the basket or then go and set up the screen. So you're going to come and set the screen up. You've done your setup. Now our smart aspect of the screener is, as I go to set the screen, I want to look over my inside shoulder. If Rose is a step high and I get to here, I might be able to slip to the basket and get a catch for a layup. So that's one aspect of the smart. Second one is, don't set an illegal screen. I don't know how many illegal screens I see nowadays, whether they are or they are not, right? Encourage the player to sprint and come to a jump stop. Okay, so that's very important. You're sprinting to the screen, come to a jump stop. So we've done our first 2 S's, set up, smart, get to the elbow, come to a jump stop. Now our angle on the screen, it's quite tough this one, but roughly your butt wants to face where the ball roughly is. Okay, so you may be a step up, Charlie, you might be there, that's fine, but your butt roughly wants to face where the ball is. You're doing the same 3 S's as that's happening. I set up, you're both setting up at the same time, and now you're both smart coming off the screen, right? As I come off the screen, again, you're looking over your inside shoulder. You don't need to see me, because if Rose jumps up nice and high early, what might you do? Cut to the basket, okay? The third element of smart here is we go opposite. So if I curl, you would. So if I go to the basket, 1 to the ball, pop out to the ball, pop out to the ball. A little bit quicker next time, okay? All right, so go back here. Now, how do you know if I curl? How do you know? How do you know? You see, okay? So you're looking inside shoulder. You see me curl into your inside shoulder. You see me curl into here, and you pop quickly. All right, so we're both going opposite. If I was to straight cut, you would roll and seal. Okay, you might forward pivot. So I screen and forward pivot, or screen and reverse pivot and seal. So again, 1 to the basket, 1 to the ball. If I was to flare, this is where it kind of gets a little bit tricky, right? If I was to flare and I go away, you might go to the ball, right? You might pop. There's other options and elements there, but let them be creative. Go back. You're throwing it to whoever's open, okay? Offensively, you're allowed 1 pass only, right? When you receive it in this action here. 1 pass only, 1 bounce each only, 1 bounce. Ready? Start from the beginning. Over there, Charlie, skip it. Ready? Stance, go. Set up, set up, set up. Good, let's go. Next 3, 3 in, 3 out. Reverse, come on. Ball's over there. Who are you guarding? Let's just guard up top for the sake of this one to start with. Ready? Go. Hold on, go back. I mean, that's not wrong. Go back to the start. Reverse it through the top though, okay? I like your creativity, go. So make sure you got a ball to jump in and guard the girl up top only, yep. Here we go, next 3. Ready, go. Girls, I need this to be more quicker, okay? Get after it, don't just jog around. Be sharper in your movements. Not too bad, good. Next 3, sorry. Let's go. Change up your positions. Make a move, 1 bounce, rebound, good. Yeah, sure, get after it. Don't forget your setup. Oh, make sure you go opposites. Good, nice setup. Both players set up. Nice, good slip, well done. Now obviously it's a little bit easier for the offense here because there's 2 offense, 1 defense, but sometimes we need to give them the advantage. Because believe it or not, basketball is only played 5-on-5 in a jump ball and an out of bounds period. After that, it's 5-on-4, 4-on-3, 3-on-2. So we have to encourage them to play in this element and segment, but then we've got to add defense just to make it a little bit harder, the difficulty. That's all right, keep playing, keep playing. Good, not too bad. So what do we do next time there? If she curls, you would pop. Okay, good. All right, hold there. Go that side for me. You girls come over this side. So I'm going to talk to you about defensive positioning of the screen defender and also the cutter defender. All right, so you're going to reverse the ball. Let me set up this side so it's easier for the coaches to see. You're now going to go set an away screen, Chloe, so the same thing. If I'm guarding the screener, we want to be in an open stance. Our closest hip, so our left hip faces the ball, and we want to be able to see both. Right? You've all been taught to point your pistols. Do we know why we do this? So you point your hands so you can see both? Do you use your eyes to see both or your hands to see both? It's always a trick. See, coaches do that at the very start of under 12s just to make them think they're really smart, okay, and you just believe it, okay? Don't always believe what you hear, all right? But you are kind of right. So our hands are up. We want to see with our eyes, our peripheral vision. So what do you think we have our hands up for on defense? Why do you think we have our hands up on defense for? Yeah, to make it hard for them to pass the ball through the gaps, okay? So we want to make ourselves longer so we can get deflections. So closest hip to the ball. I don't want to be too high because then they may slip. So I get below the line of the ball, right? So I'm here and I can see both. We all okay with that? I don't want to turn my head away from the ball handler, right? Because they can drive and score. I don't want to get too close to the player here because then there's all this space for them to curl into if they defender gets screened. So that's their positioning, right? Obviously then if we switch, what do we do? But I'm just teaching that one first and I'll talk about switching a bit later. Now, if Rose was defending the cutter, so let's say we take her down. What was your name? Tiana. Tiana takes a step down. Brooke comes to set a screen. Chloe comes to set a screen. Now, just go back for me. So Rose, where would you be the initial? Good. So go back further, Chloe. So right now, Rose is the low split line. And if I'm defending Chloe, as Chloe gets down lower, I end up becoming the low split line or possibly the high split line. And remember, there's more players on the court. If your player starts to get, or if your player is starting to come off a screen, you want to get closer to your player. Right, so you could be there to contest shots or chase over or lock and go underneath, whatever it might be. Now, I spoke earlier about headhunt, cleanup, and positional screens. So if Rose is underneath the basket in the captain position and you're setting a down screen, where do you usually set the down screen here? But Rose is down there. So where do you set the down screen? Pardon? So now this is where the positional screen comes into it, right? So I'm not headhunting. I'm not going to go set a down screen here. I'll set a positional screen around about the elbow area because there's always space beneath the defense, remember? So I get to here. Now you take your player, step in just to set her up to see what she does. As you start to come off and I see Rose, this is positional. So I might quickly turn and screen her here. The other thing that might happen, you might so take a step there. Right? If you start to come, Rose starts to come high and starts to cheat, well then you just flare back. So you're not necessarily setting a screen on her, you're setting it in an area. Do we understand that? So there's headhunt, there's cleanup, and there is positional. But defensively, what we teach you to do here is as the screen comes to your player, just like Curtis said with the ball handler, you start going to your player as well in this situation. So you start going to your player, you start going to the screen, or to set the screen. Now, Rose tries to get her hand, heel, and hip through the screen. As defenders, we say to them, bad defenders get screened, but how many times have you seen your athletes run into the screen and then go, I tried my hardest, right? Don't get screened. So the way we don't get screened, we've got to show them or teach them how not to get screened. So as we come off the screen, let's say, Chloe, come closer. Let's say the screen's close. Keep coming, that's fine. Just so they can see it. Rose wants to get her hand and her heel through the screen, and then her hip will follow. So I go hand, heel, and hip goes through with it. So I want to try to make myself long and thin instead of out wide where I get screened more. Right, so hand, heel, hip, and we get through the screen. That's if we're locking and trailing. Everyone all right with that? Are you okay with that? The other thing we can look at doing, and this is before the hand, heel, hip, and this is if Chloe's coming to headhunt the screen. As they're coming, Rose can actually put her hand out. And the reason you put your hand out here, not face palming her, okay? We just put our hand out here so it's harder for Chloe to get closer. Because what we know is if defense applies more pressure and takes away time and space of the offense, they make a poor decision. And it's reversed as well. So if you as a screener can take away their time and space and get closer to the screen, they actually make a poorer decision. So you don't want that to happen. So you put your hand out. So there's a gap now, which gives you time to go hand, heel, hip, and fight through the screen. So I just want you girls to give me a demo of that. So you can guard, first one will guard Chloe, and we'll just show our positioning in our high split line, right? Reverse, ball's there, go set a screen, go. See the ball, come off it. And we're just playing here, we're playing, good. All right, same three, quick, same three, back up, quick, let's go girls. Reverse the ball, go, reverse it. Now stay here, go same thing again, go, sprint, see both. Right, not too bad. So we're okay with the positioning of the girl defending the screener. So now defend the cutter. Rewind, go back to the start. Ball's over here. Where would you start, Rose? On the ball. Go, jump off to the ball as the pass gets thrown. Go, jump off, and then go close the gap, Rose, close the gap. Right, hold there, go back again. That's not wrong. She went underneath the screen, that's okay. We want you to get up closer and get through the screen. So why do we go through the screen? It's more aggressive. So I'm trying to push through and then trying to make it a tough catch for the offense to get. So we want to be more aggressive here. It's always better to teach them to be more aggressive, and then they can back off and be more passive than be passive and then be more aggressive. It's like whenever you take over a team, be really mean. Be really mean early and then slowly back off, right? And then, I mean, obviously you want to develop relationships and rapport with the athletes. Don't be the person they hate, right? But be mean, and then you can slowly back off and open up a little bit more, right? It's much easier to kind of coach discipline and what you need to teach, right? So reverse it, same thing. Get to your play, quick Rose, go. Get to her, hand, heel, hip, get through. All right. Not too bad. So hand, heel, hip for the cutter defender, right? And then opening up, seeing both for the screen defender. You guys all right with that? Give me one more player up, please. Leonie, how long do we have left after this? 5 minutes. Oof, all right. Go through it quick. So, on the ball, we're reversing it. Throw it, jump to the ball. So now we're going to go 2-on-2. You're going to set a down screen, and we just backpedal as that's happening. Now you start going to your player. Again, what are you working on? What are your 3 S's? Set up. Coaches are trying to listen. You turn and yell it out to them. If you do this, you'll be a great coach one day. Go. What are the 3 S's?
Set.
Louder.
Set.
Set up.
Set up.
Yeah, what's the next one?
Smart.
Separate.
Separate.
All right, good. So I want you to think about that when you go through this, okay? So set her up, be smart, and then separate, try to get away from Chloe as quick as possible. Okay, don't stand near her. If you stand near her, it's actually easy for the defense to guard because there's less space for them to guard. Does that make sense? All right, hand, heel, hip, fighting through, okay? And then you're just helping here. Rewind. And let's play 2-on-2 out of it. Here we go. Quick, 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 get through, get through. Again, I would make sure we have multiple scores and no out of bounds. We play to a result, right? Or till defense gets it. Here we go, switch over. Next 4. Quick, 2 here. O&D. O&D up top. Girls, move it. Let's go. Run. Who's on offense? All right, ready? 3 S's. Go. 3 S's. Go to your play quickly. Hold there. Stop, stop, stop. Go back. Rewind. That's all right. Now, ball's there. Go set the screen. Where are you positioning yourself defensive? We don't want to be too low because look at all this space right here. So we want to be kind of up. Good. That's fine. Jump to the ball a little bit. Closest hip is facing the board. Just closest hip. Don't turn and not see your player. Just have your hip face the ball. So face your toes, 3-point that way. See how just your hips facing the ball? Hip faces the ball. Who's the most dangerous person on the court? Person with the ball. So we always need to see ball and see our player, okay? You're then closing quickly in on her, and what are you trying to get through? Yeah, but what are you trying to get? Our hand, heel, and hip, okay? 3 H's, right? You know who Triple H is? It's a wrestler. Don't worry. Here we go. Rewind. Back in the day. Let's go. Reset it back up. Up. Ball's there. Get in the stance. Go. Reverse it. Sprint to the screen. Ooh. Go. That's all right. Keep playing. Keep playing. Throw it and go. Get through. Get through. Hand, heel, hip. Not too bad. Not too bad. Rewind. Go again. Now, what did you maybe have there? I mean, you scored anyway. Excellent. But continually challenge their thinking. What cut did you maybe have?
Straight.
Back cut, okay? So again, just read the defender. So when the ball's over there, set the down screen, open up, see both. As you step here, if you see her just being a fraction out of position and you can see and get your nose, or if your nose is beneath her, just cut. Because it actually will free the screener up as well. Because now when you cut, you might collapse the D and you can pop back for a shot. All right? So always see all your cuts. Back cut is always first. All right? Go set the screen. Go. Play from there. Nice. Good. Pop back. Not too bad. That's all right. Again, we want to make sure we encourage the athletes to pass the ball. Okay? Now, as a passer, who are you watching? As a passer, who are you watching? Right, so they don't know. Now, you know all your coach's offenses off like very easily, don't you? You've studied them, you've gone home, you've got the coins out, you've worked them, you know them off by heart. So if you know where everyone's supposed to go, who determines where they go? Who? The defense most of the time, right? So as we set it up here, we want to encourage the passer to actually look at the defense and see where they are and if they're out of position. And if you end up throwing a position pass, Charlie, where you feel like the screener's here and the defender's a step high and you just throw it to there and the girls turn and look at you and go, what was that? Right? You go, well, you had the option to slip because you were looking at the defense. So try to always think a pass ahead or a play ahead, and a good way to do that is actually see the defense. That's how you actually become a better student of the game, right, moving forward. Right, let's set 4 up. We're going to talk about switching quickly because everyone's doing switching now. So it's important that we, 1, know how to switch, and 2, how to exploit or attack the switch. So we've reversed the ball. So we're going to firstly talk about defending and switching, right? So come and set a screen. We want to stay in our open stance still, right? So open the stance, turn, see both. You go to your player. Now you do not switch until you get to the point of the screen. So as we come off, you don't jump out early and switch, because if you do that, and I haven't gotten to Rose yet, do that, Chloe, what happens? Right, good. So we come back. Now there's several ways you could do this. You can bump switch. So as I come here, I can actually push Chloe high, so we bump her. But it depends on where the ball is, where the screens are. So if we want Chloe to be a step that way, it's hard for you to reach out and bump her. We just need to switch loud and aggressive. So as we get to here, we go out switch, both of us can, and we switch aggressively. So you would get to here and you get low and you'd bump her, because we don't want to let her post you up. And as you come off the cut, we want to switch aggressively so they can't get a catch or an easy open shot. A lot of times you switch with like 10 seconds left on the shot clock, right, or most teams do, and I don't know how many times where we've yelled out switch and the girl or the boy who's supposed to switch doesn't do it aggressive enough and they get an open shot and they score. And believe it or not, the easiest shot to shoot in basketball is the one where the shot clock's on 2 seconds, because they're not going to get into trouble if they shoot it. It's like there's 1 second left, they just shot it. If it's the end of the game, it's a little bit different, that's pressure. But with 2 seconds left, they just catch and shoot. And most of the time it goes, well, not most of the time, but it goes in more often than not, because they don't care if it goes in. So that's how we're going to switch defensively. Okay, rewind, give me a little demo. When you switch at the point of and you switch loud and aggressively. Say it aggressively, say it. There you go, ready? Reverse the ball. Sprint the screen, early. All right, excellent hustle at the end there. I can't say anything bad about referees, so excellent hustle. Okay, rewind for me. When you switch, where do you think you need to position yourself? So back here, where do we position ourselves? Between the player and first and foremost. Good, so open up, Chloe. Just skip it to there for me, Journey. So we go make contact early. Journey comes off, you yell out, switch. Yeah, and so can Chloe. Usually the screen defender yells it out, and then you want to quickly get underneath here, get low, and I want to get into a hip, right? Because if you push your hip right here for me, it's really vulnerable. If you do that to Rose, she's going to fall over, right? She'll fall over and cry maybe, okay? So nice and aggressive. All right, ready? Set up again. You wouldn't cry, would you, Rose? Good. Go. Switch early, call it early and aggressive. Keep going, not too bad. What we then probably need to do is you position yourself where she can't face cut, so cut in front of your face. Now, how do we exploit or attack switches? There's a few ways. Set it up, ball's over there. As we come offensively, now if they switch early, so right here, Rose, if you hear switch and they haven't even got to the point of the screen, you slip, so we separate quickly. If they do a good job switching, so we come off it, they switch at the right time, Chloe comes to me. What's your name again?
Hazel.
Hazel takes Rose, and I get the ball here. Let's say I get it. Obviously, Rose would take her down nice and low, and we try to throw the ball in high-low because we have a mismatch. If that's not on, usually this is a guard and this is a big. Now, I'm not always saying this happens, or is the way. Most of the time, bigs aren't as quick laterally as guards, okay? And most of the time, guards should be better fundamentally on the perimeter. We don't want that, but most of the time that happens. So if you get the ball out here and Chloe's defending me and there's no mismatch, I can either dribble out a little bit and then look to attack off the dribble, and we try to send that big a little bit lower. So get low, keep going. And then I try to beat this player off the dribble, and if I beat her off the dribble, what must you do, Hazel? And then I can just pass for a layup, hopefully. Or find a player, 5 on 4. If I can't attack straight away, I would throw it to Charlie, I'd back up here, you would look in. If that's not on, you'd throw it back out to me, and I'd get it, and I'd just go full head of steam again and try to beat her off the dribble. So that's another way we can attack the screen. What we don't want to do is re-screen, because if you re-screen, they'll just switch back. Okay, so that's just some ways we can attack the switches. There's a couple other different ways, but that's probably the easiest for athletes to remember. All right, we either look straight into the big, and you've got to work on passing into the big, because believe it or not, that's one of the biggest inabilities of guards, to actually pass the ball in the post. And then ask yourself, how often do you practice passing the ball in the post? Okay, so the last few weeks at SPP workouts, it's been post play, how to pass the ball in the post, and then how to play out of a post feed. All right, so that's important, so work on that aspect as well. The last point, if I can get across it in time, give me another player, 2 players out there. O and D. So the biggest thing we're really finding nowadays with athletes is the what's next mentality. Like, what do we do next? We've done this action, well, what happens next? And they generally just stand around, they kind of look, and just someone breaks out of the offense. And like Curtis spoke about earlier with the 5 Ds, whenever you break out of offense, we revert to habit, and our habits in our philosophy of Basketball New South Wales is the 5 Ds. So athletes should get to a receiver spot where someone gets open. But if we don't want to do that and we can just continue to play, well, I would reverse it. Reverse it for me. Wing, please. Throw it. Let's say we screen away. Journey comes off. Defensively, they do a fantastic job. They don't switch. They lock and trail. Hayes will get through it. Chloe rolls. No one's open. And then you throw it to Journey. Rose, you pop out. And then we can run the exact same thing again. So we can throw it to Rose, and then we can set a down screen the other way. So the what's next? What do we do next? We just keep playing. What other options do we have off this? Well, here's a couple you can maybe explore and play with. Go there, Rose. Journey over here. Hayes will hop out. I'll be the offensive player here. I'm not very good, but I'll try. You down screen. I set up. I come off it. Journey does a great job blocking and trailing. I get it. Now, I can't throw it here, or I don't want to throw it here. I can actually throw it back, and then you can set a flare screen. So now we're working on different screens. You might step and come off a flare screen this way. So now we're putting a defender in multiple actions defensively. And once you do that, that's when you get open shots. In juniors especially. So depending on your group, that might be too advanced, but I don't think athletes play enough now. 3-on-3, 4-on-4. Think back to when you were probably younger, you would play a lot, 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3. I think there's too much prescribed practices. Coach is there, it's coach driven, it's athlete focused, coach driven, it's fantastic, but sometimes we're have such empathy for the athletes and we sympathise so much that we actually control everything that happens in practice. We don't actually let them think and be creative. So let them play 3-on-3 and just sit out and watch, see how they go. And just encourage them to keep playing, keep making decisions. There's no right or wrong. What you might do is actually add a shot clock in at a stage. Don't say, stop. Because in a game, you can't just walk on the court and go, stop. Right? You just have to let them play. What you might do is just count down a shot clock. 8, 7, 6, and then they've got to play off the dribble or pass and screen away again and look to score. All right? Is that it? Oh, it's up to me. We can go for another couple of hours if you want. I don't think we should. It's 10 to 9. The last thing I'll show you, and that's just out of another action, and it's quite simple, but now we get into a ball screen, is if Journey came off it, Rose set the screen, Journey caught it, Rose can actually twist. We call this twist. So as Journey comes off the screen, she might yell out twist. So I yell it out nice and early, and it tells Rose to twist around and set a middle ball screen. All right, so now we're playing off the ball screen. Now, we use the same 3 S's off the ball screen as well. So setup. So the setup for Journey here would be, set a pick for me, Rose. If the screen's this way, you want to set me up to step away, and now I shift. So that's the setup phase. If you can't step away because they're here, you might shot fake, right? You might shot fake, it gets me to jump, and then you go. So you set me up, and then it's smart. So I'm reading me, I'm reading the defender guarding the screen, and then it separates still. So our setup, smart, separate. Screener, same thing. Set her up. If she's in my way, I might basket cut. I'm smart, I come to a jump stop, and then I separate quick. That makes sense? All right, I want you to do one of those for me, Journey. So defender up here, please. Defender. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, twist. Go get it, quick. Roll. Not too bad. All right, but what should you do when you always come off a screen? Journey, look to, yeah, look to score, okay? All right, can we please put our hands together for the girls? Curtis, can you come down here in case they got questions for you? So just to kind of recap screening. Now, I just wanted to focus on away screens. I didn't want to talk too much about ball screens and everything like that because I feel everything is played with the ball nowadays in the game. It's dribble, 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 on-ball screens because they see the NBA do it. A great example is Golden State Warriors. Klay Thompson, I think like a month or two ago, he scored, was it 40 points off 4 bounces, right? So that just shows you how some teams in the NBA, not all teams, just play so well without the ball. So moving without the ball, screening, right? And that, to me, that's the true, I guess, indicator of a team. How well you play without the ball, right? As well as how well you play with the ball, because obviously Steph Curry's unbelievable. 3 S's, set up, smart, separate for both the cutter and the screener, okay? Our defense, how we guard the screener, hand, heel, hip, right? I try to encourage that. That's with the ball screen as well. If I'm defending the ball screen, hand, heel, hip, get through, okay? It just gives them a plan. When you give them a plan, it just helps them through the process. And the last one was the kind of screening types. I didn't get into that too much, I apologize. But our headhunt, our cleanup, our positional screen, so they're the screen purpose, all right? Are there any questions? The daunting part. Yep. Yeah. I mean, it depends what you're doing. If you're sending them away from the screen, then you probably wouldn't do it. If you want the athlete to go under the screen, then I probably wouldn't do it, right? I mean, you could go that way, but definitely when you're being aggressive, trying to get hand, heel, hip through the screen. And you can start to use your arm bar to kind of push them as well when you get through. But the main objective on any screen is not to get screened if you're defense.